Hello guys, welcome back to another video with me. I'm Kaman and usually I make a slow English podcast for beginners and intermediate levels students, but in this video we have something more different. We're gonna work on all areas of your English by reading a news article and learning English from it. So, first, I'm gonna read each line or each paragraph, then I will break down the vocabularies and phrases you need to know, and then we will go through some advanced grammar tips and structures. And for the second part of the video, I will go through the article with a natural pace so you can become familiar with a natural intonation and rhythm of reading a news article in English. Of course, this is an advanced lesson. If you're just started to learn English, this video is not suitable for you. If you have upper intermediate or higher level in English, this video is the right one for you. Don't worry about taking notes. You can download a free PDF of this lesson in my Telegram channel, and I put the link in the description below. And this article is about the recent war, the recent conflicts between India and Pakistan. So I have the article on my phone, so I'm gonna read from it. Indian source says both sides worked directly on truce after Trump says US mediated. So the first word that we have here is truce. Truce. Pay attention to the pronunciation, truce. We have another similar word in English which we say truth, truth. See, TH and C has different pronunciations in English. So truce, truth. So this one, truce here, means a temporary agreement between enemies to stop fighting. So, an agreement between two countries, two enemies or more to stop fighting. So, truce means peace somehow. We have the word truth means fact. The countries agreed to a truce after weeks of conflict. Source on the Indian side said the agreement to halt all military activities was worked out. So we have a word here to halt. Halt is a formal word for saying stop, to stop all military activities. So the agreement worked out. Work out is a phrasal verb and it means to solve or resolve a problem. To solve a problem. Let's continue. The agreement to halt all military activity was worked out directly between India and Pakistan. Despite US President Donald Trump's announcement that the ceasefire was the result of a night of US mediation. Word ceasefire. This is actually a common word in essays and articles, and it means to stop fighting after an agreement. Ceasefire. And actually, it's a formal agreement, and you cannot, reject it or refuse it. It's a formal agreement, so you have to accept it. Ceasefire was announced after peace talks. So they talked to make a peace, they talked to make peace and to stop, to halt military actions, and we call that a ceasefire. The stoppage of firing and military action between India and Pakistan was worked out directly between two countries. So firing means shooting one another. The source said in a post on X, External Affairs Minister of India also said that India and Pakistan have today worked out an understanding on a stoppage of firing and military action. He and U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio spoke earlier in the day. External affairs. We have two words here. Internal affairs. It means related to a country. Internal affairs. I mean things or stuff related to a country, and they are usually done inside of a country. We call them internal affairs. But when we have external affairs, we are talking about things and stuff done outside that country. So, external affairs minister is a person. Actually, we're talking about a person who controls things related to his country, but he does his job outside the country. He, agrees with other countries. He travels a lot to other countries. So we call that external affairs minister. He is a really important person for a country. India and Pakistan have agreed to a ceasefire after weeks of tension and back and forth strikes, with India's foreign secretary saying the halt in fighting is now in effect. US President Donald Trump made the surprise announcement on social media, saying it came after a night of talks mediated by Washington. Mediate means the act of making peace between two countries or two enemies. So, this article is saying that Donald Trump, is officially saying that we mediated, we made the peace work between two countries that were in conflict. So, he is saying that I'm a big part of it. So the example sentence would be the US mediated the peace talks between nations. The confrontation between the countries had escalated further Saturday. So we have the word escalate, but in this line we use it in simple past, escalated this Saturday, the past Saturday. So the main verb, the base form of the verb is escalate, and it means a sudden increase in intensity and seriousness. Increase. The situation escalated quickly after the attack. So these words that you're learning from this article are formal words mostly used in political and social texts or contexts, and you cannot use them in informal situations like everyday conversations. With Islamabad launching a military operation in retaliation to what it said were Indian missile launches on its military bases overnight. So we have the word retaliation, actually the phrase in retaliation to. The word retaliation means a counterattack or response to a prior attack. And then we have the word missile. Missile means rocket. It's a formal way of saying rocket. We have the phrase in retaliation to as a response to an attack. So Islamabad is saying that India was the one who first started the attacks. So India sent a missile, sent a rocket to Islamabad, and now Islamabad is responding. This paragraph's title is Kashmir Massacre. Massacre means the killing of many people, all of them at the same time. The massacre sparked worldwide outrage. It means everyone in the world was angry with the massacre because massacre is the act of killing innocent people. Heightened tension between the neighboring states was sparked by a massacre of tourists last month in Indian-controlled Kashmir. So, heightened tension here is actually referring to the recent conflicts between India and Pakistan. Heightened tension, it means the stress, the conflict has increased. The increase of stress and conflict. Sparked, so sparked means started or caused something to happen suddenly. Sparked. India blamed Pakistan for the attack and launched Operation Sindoor. Operation Sindoor is the name of the operation. Wednesday, in both Pakistan and Pakistan administered Kashmir. So we have Pakistan administered. It means it's an adjective. Pakistan administered Kashmir. The Kashmir, which is under control by Pakistan. Islamabad has denied involvement in the killings. Involvement means participation in something. So Islamabad has denied, has refused. Islamabad is saying, I haven't done anything related to the conflicts. I didn't do anything wrong. So Islamabad is rejecting involvement, any kind of involvement. A history of tension. Hindu majority India and Muslim majority Pakistan each control parts of Kashmir, but claim it in full and have fought 3 wars over territory. So a history of tension. Now we want to talk about what has happened between these two countries and why are they fighting. We have a Kashmir, a region called Kashmir, and it has 2 different parts. One part is controlled by Hindu majority, India, it's related to India, and the other part is controlled by Muslim majority Pakistan. It's under control of, one part is under control of Pakistan and the other one is controlled by India. So they are fighting, but each one of these want the whole Kashmir for themselves. So they want to claim it in full. Claim something in full. Claim something in full means to claim, to say that I want the entire part, I want the whole part of that thing. I want to teach you 2 really common grammar structures that were used in this article. The first one is reported speech. When you're talking to someone and then you meet a new person and you want to report what you were talking about, you want to report about your speech, your previous speech, what you will do is called reported speech. And it has a formula, a fixed formula, which I'm going to tell you now. So we have some examples in the text. Trump says US mediated, or the stoppage was worked out. So basically you use reported speech to tell someone what another person said. But the very important point here is when you're reporting what you've been told, you have to shift the tense of the verb. We have the sentence here, we agree to truce. But if you want to report this sentence, we have to say, they said that they agreed to truce. The verb tense shifts back. Agree shifts to its past tense. Agreed. Next grammar structure was mostly used in this text was passive voice. We have 2 different voices in English grammar. Active voice, passive voice. A passive voice is when you focus mainly on the action that happened or on what happened instead of focusing on the subject or who did it. So the doer of the action is not important, but the action is more important. And you focus on the action. This is called passive voice. So this voice is really common in news articles we use because we're talking about events and happenings. We're not talking about people most of the time. So we have an active voice here. The army launched an operation. So the army is the subject, the doer of the action. What is the action? Launching the operation. So what was launched? The operation. The operation here is our actually object. So we bring the object at the first of the sentence, at the beginning of the sentence. The operation, we want to focus more on what happened. We don't care that the army did it or not. The operation was launched. So we bring the object, which is the operation, at the beginning of the sentence. The operation was launched. So we have to be, then we have the past participle of the verb. So the operation was launched. Now it's optional whether you want to add the doer of the action or not. The operation was launched by the army. You can add by the army or you can delete it. It doesn't matter. The operation was launched. What matters here is that the operation was launched. We don't care who did it, why they did it. We don't care. We just want to know that what happened. The operation was launched. So now I have a speaking practice for you. I ask you a question. So you have 1 minute to answer to this question, and then we will go to the second part, which I will read the article one more time with a natural pace. The question is, why do you think countries sometimes deny involvement in military attacks even when evidence points toward them? Why do you think they deny? So you have 1 minute to respond. Okay, well done to all of your responses. If you're willing, you can comment them below so I can read your responses and I will correct if there is any mistakes in your speech. So now I'm gonna go through the article one more time. Stay with me and just listen. Indian source says both sides worked directly on truce after Trump says US mediated. Source on the Indian side said the agreement to halt all military activity was worked out directly between India and Pakistan, despite US President Donald Trump's announcement that the ceasefire was the result of a night of US mediation. The stoppage of firing and military action between India and Pakistan was worked out directly between the two countries. The source said in a post on X. External Affairs Minister of India also said that India and Pakistan have today worked out an understanding on a stoppage of firing and military action. He and U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio spoke earlier in the day. India and Pakistan have agreed to a ceasefire after weeks of tension and back and forth strikes, with India's Foreign Secretary saying the halt in fighting is now in effect. US President Donald Trump made the surprise announcement on social media, saying it came after a night of talks mediated by Washington. The confrontation between the countries had escalated further Saturday, with Islamabad launching a military operation in retaliation to what it said were Indian missile launches on its military bases overnight. Kashmir massacre. Heightened tension between the neighboring states was sparked by a massacre of tourists last month in Indian-controlled Kashmir. India blamed Pakistan for the attack and launched Operation Sindoor Wednesday in both Pakistan and Pakistan-administered Kashmir. Islamabad has denied involvement in the killings, a history of tension. Hindu-majority India and Muslim majority Pakistan each control parts of Kashmir, but claim it in full and have fought 3 wars over the territory. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. I'm so happy for the 2 countries that worked everything out, because actually, being in conflict, when 2 countries are in conflict, the only people that get hurt are innocent and normal people. So I'm so glad that they worked everything out. If you enjoyed this lesson, don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button.